Hello everyone, welcome back to another reading vlog. I can already tell you this week's one probably is going to be quite short because all of my family is home this week and they don't know I have a booktube because that would be awkward. So I probably won't be able to film a lot with them being around. So it'll probably mostly be just, some montages and a check-in here and there. So yes, it's Monday. I already have spent the whole day with my family. My grandparents came down, so that was nice. Haven't seen them in a while. So that's basically all I've done, and I have a couple minutes by myself, so I thought that I would just start this off. So I'm currently reading The Near Witch by V.E. Schwab, beautiful edition with these fantastic sprayed edges. I love it so much. And I am 75 pages in. I think that's about 20% or something. I'm planning on finishing this week, but to be honest, I don't have a lot of motivation to read, and I'm kind of kicking myself for not reading more last week when I was really motivated to read. And now that motivation is gone, I'm like, oops. I'm not sure what else I'll read. It kind of depends. I might read one of the audiobooks I'm planning on, I think next week I'm going to start my reread of Six of Crows. I think I'll try and read Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom in the 1 week, so it'll be rereading my favorites. Though those are pretty chunky. I'm not sure will I be able to do that in a week. Nah, I should. I think I did that the first time anyway. Basically, I have no idea what my plan is. This is the plan, and probably something else if I ever get the motivation to read. But for now, because it's Monday, everyone's posting their last week reading vlogs and all this stuff, so I have a load of those to watch, and that's what I'm gonna go do. Hello, it's Thursday. It's been a while. I've kind of shown you mostly what I've been doing. Yeah, so the family was home, so I couldn't really talk a lot because I'm very awkward as a human being. I've also realized I wear this way too much because just I'm always wearing it in every clip. And it's like, sometimes it's pajamas under it, okay? But sometimes I'm actually dressed. And I just immediately put this on as soon as I get in the house, no matter the weather. I need to stop that, I think, because I'm wearing it all of the time. All the time. I talked to you on Monday. Then Tuesday, I was hanging out with my family. Oh, I went into town with my sister. I did go to the bookstore, but I didn't get anything. We watched The Princess Diaries 2. The first one is better, but The Princess Diaries has like two of the most iconic quotes, which is like the one about a queen is never late, everyone else is simply early, and then the one where it's like, where Paolo is like,
yes, but a very cute moose. Make all the boy moose go, wah!
So on Tuesday I finished The Near Witch, and then on Wednesday I read the short story at the back of this. I started this last week, so if you want like my really early thoughts, you can go watch that. But basically this follows Lexi. She lives in a town called Near. Near is like a very small village and everyone knows everyone. And they don't enjoy the company of strangers, and so then when a stranger shows up, they're obviously all like, who's that? And then when children start going missing, the obvious assumption is, oh, it's the stranger. I'm like, honestly, I love this cover so much, it's so pretty. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. Every time I start a new V.E. Schwab book, I'm always like, oh no, I don't think I'm gonna like this, because it takes me like 50 pages to get into it, and yet I always seem to forget this fact. It takes me like 50 pages to get into a V.E. Schwab book, because I'm always like, oh no, I'm not gonna like this one. And this one was no different. It took me around 50 pages to get into. Also, because of the fact it's her first work, I was like, oh no, I'm not getting into this. I don't think I'll like this. But then after the 50 pages, like every other V.E. Schwab book, I was hooked. I do see some differences between this and her later works, and basically, if this is the only V.E. Schwab book that you have read and you didn't think it was for you, and you're like kind of just gave up on V.E. Schwab as an author, don't. Her other books are definitely better than this. But if you're someone who has read most of V.E. Schwab's works, don't kind of write this off just because of the fact it's her first book. It's still good. I would say keep your expectations low. I did keep my expectations low going into it. Even though V.E. Schwab is my favorite author, I was like, this is her first book. I've heard pretty mixed things about it. Don't be like, oh, it'll be great like all of her other ones. But in the end, I did actually end up really enjoying it. But yeah, I did have a couple of problems with it. The characters were like pretty basic, and like I liked them, but it was like, these are definitely characters I've seen multiple times before. Like Lexi, she's kind of not like other girls, though I will say she never looked down on other girls for being like other girls. A lot of the time books do that. They try to make these characters really independent, and they're not like other girls. I can think of the main character from The Gracier and also Audrey Rose from Stalking Jack the Ripper. The two of them, I think, are clear examples of this, of how they're kind of nearly put on this pedestal of, oh, look, they're so feminist. Even though it's not, they're going against the norm in their town at the time period, whatever. But they're putting down other girls for having girly interests, and that's something that really annoys me. And this is taking a total different turn. I'm not even discussing The Near Witch anymore, but to bring her back to The Near Witch, she doesn't do that. So even though she is a bit kind of, I'm not like other girls, she doesn't look down on other girls, which is good. My other complaint is she immediately trusts this stranger, and I'm like, why? Like, even though you're not like other girls and your father has taught you to be more like understanding, I don't know, I'd still be a bit skeptical of children starting to go missing as soon as this dude arrives. And she didn't seem to have any of those. Well, no, she had like 30 seconds of and she's like, nah. But yeah, that kind of annoyed me a bit, but I can kind of get over it. So yeah, so 4 out of 5 stars. I've officially finished. I've held that upside down. I have officially finished every V.E. Schwab book that is currently out, which is super exciting. And it probably won't be until September, but I will be doing a video like ranking V.E. Schwab's books, which I did one ranking all of Cassandra Clare's books. I will say this is fairly low, just a little sneak peek. This is fairly low on the list, I would say, but still a 4 out of 5 stars, which is probably why V.E. Schwab is my favorite author, because even her books that are my least favorites are still good. Other stuff that I've been reading. So, Tales from Earthsea, it is a collection of 4 or 5 short stories that are in the world of Earthsea. You know, they're literally Tales from Earthsea. I listened to the first one yesterday, and honestly, I just really didn't care. I would probably give that a 2 out of 5 stars. I just didn't care for the topic of that story. I think I'm gonna listen to one like each day until I finish. I can't really give like a description. The first one was just about how the island of Roke came to be like the magic school. I was kind of just bored by it. I wasn't too interested, so I would give that like a 2 out of 5. Just so I would also just like have something to read in my spare time. I also started Descendant of the Crane, and I'm only I think 7% into that, so I really can't tell you much. She is about to become the queen, or the empress. Is the empress? Oh my god, I clearly wasn't paying much attention to the first 7%. So she's about to become the ruler, and she firmly believes that her father was assassinated, and she seems to be trying to find magic users to help her find out what happened. And magic, I think, is illegal in this world, and that's literally as far as I've gotten. I haven't read anything today. I think I'm going to edit this clip and then I'm going to put on Tales from Earthsea. So yeah, I will see you soon, maybe. Hello. So, I'm actually updating you. I don't have anything to update you on, but I'm here. Friday. This week has been really weird. I'm really losing track of days. Like, what is time? I read nothing yesterday, which, whoops. But I will today. I will read. Yeah. Yesterday I just ended up like watching a load of YouTube, and evening I watched the Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, which I haven't seen yet, despite the fact it came out like last year. It was okay. It's probably one of my least favorite of the Star Wars movies. I'm not like obsessed with Star Wars or anything, like I enjoy them, but I can definitely see I had already been pretty spoiled for The Rise of Skywalker anyway, and I can see people's complaints with that. That was kind of what I felt. A lot of it just felt, I was like, wait, when did this happen? Where did this come into it? So today's plan is doing nothing. I think I'm gonna just keep it pretty chill. I'm gonna try and read probably 2 stories from the Tales of Earthsea. Yeah, that's really my only plan, is to read Tales of Earthsea. I kind of want to reorganize my bookshelf, but I'm planning on rearranging my room, so I think I might just wait until I can do that, and then I'll just like rearrange everything, you know, including books. Hi everyone, so I'm here just to wrap up the end of this vlog. I honestly haven't been doing too much. I did a small bit of reading, and I also watched, I told you that I watched Star Wars, and I watched Peter Pan, the sequel, what is it, Return to Neverland, I think. I didn't know there was a sequel until like yesterday, and then I was like, must watch, and I did. I also got some book mail on, I think, was it Friday? So basically my mom was ordering some stuff online on Amazon, and she wanted to get free shipping. She was like, is there any book you want to buy? And I was like, yes. It was like, I'll get The Bear and the Nightingale by Catherine Arden. And then when my mum was going to get it, she saw that it was like also bought with this, the other two books, because it is a trilogy. And then she was like, you can't just get one of them. So she bought me all three of them, which I was going to buy The Bear and the Nightingale, but she just ended up buying all three, which was really nice. So I have The Bear and the Nightingale, The Girl in the Tower, and The Winter of the Witch. It wasn't originally planned, but I think I might try and read it sometime this month if I can. I saw this because becsandbooks and JD Berry Reads both really like this trilogy. I think it follows like a young girl who lives in this town, and she can see the spirits, like nature and all of that, and everyone in the town, they leave like, you know, gifts and stuff for these spirits to protect them and all this. But then when Vassia, I'm not sure if that's how it's pronounced, I'll have to look it up, but when her father remarries to a Christian woman, the Christian woman brings, I think, a priest with her, and then the town kind of starts to get converted, and because like these spirits aren't getting gifts, they can't protect the town anymore. I think that's the general gist of it, and it sounds really good, and I've heard that it's like a really like, you know, wintry and like beautiful atmosphere, so I'm excited for it. And let's talk about what I actually read this week. So I finished The Near Witch by V.E. Schwab this week. It feels like so long ago when it was only like Wednesday. I gave that 4 out of 5 stars, and I finished Tales from Earthsea today, and I gave that a 2.5 out of 5 stars. It's really hard to rate like a short story collection because there's always going to be ones that you like and ones you don't like. But kind of generally speaking, I wasn't too interested in any of them. I mean, there was kind of one, Diamond and Dark Rose, I think, is probably my favorite, but even then, that wasn't something that I really loved or anything. It was like, okay. I just didn't care that much, so 2.5 out of 5 is literally like 50%. And I feel like that's fair enough. I just didn't really care for it, but, you know. But it is a nice addition if you want to know a bit more history and stuff, because at the end there is like a whole list of like history, and so that was also a bit interesting. But it would be more well liked by someone who actually is really invested in this series and wants to know more about the history, whereas I am not, you know, super connected to the story, and so for me, I just didn't care that much. Tahanu still remains number 1 on the list of Earthsea books so far, and I only have one more to go, which is The Other Wind, and I'll probably read that next month or the month after. So that's all I read, and I also read 7% of Descendant of the Crane, which I ended up not reading any more of, so sorry about that. I will be putting that one on pause for now, because next week I'm going to be trying to reread Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo, and also Crooked Kingdom, which is ambitious. We're gonna give it a go, but I read it for the first time 2 years ago, and this is my first reread of it, so I'm kind of nervous that I won't like it as much, but, well, I guess we'll have to tune in next week to see if I do. So, thank you guys so much for watching this. I do hope you enjoyed this awkward attempt at a video. If you did, subscribe, and I will see you all on the next one. Bye!